Greetings, Earthlings. I'd like to say greetings on this beautiful day outside. Sunny skies, people are cutting their grass, and the most important that we're alive on this beautiful planet that we live on, the planet Earth. Now let's talk about problem solving today. Problem solving happens all the time. Problems happen all the time. But we need to start learning to take our time and energy and learn how to solve problems. Because in solving problems, in solving the problem is a great feeling to be able to work through a problem and learn something from it. But then, because those skills are something that you will be able to use for the rest of your life. Whether you're in a classroom, whether you're at home, the most important thing is to problem solve. Now, for instance, at home right now, you're home now with your parents and your brothers and sisters, and we're kind of in close quarters, so we don't get out a lot. So it's important to understand each other's feelings and work through any conflict you have. You have an idea, you want to do something, they have an idea, they want to do something. So we have to learn how to work through those things in a positive and a productive way. No one is perfect. We all make mistakes. If you're running around trying to be perfect and claiming in your own mind that you don't make a mistake, you're not being respectful to yourself. You're not treating yourself properly because everybody makes mistakes. Nobody on this planet does not make mistakes. Now, you're going to make mistakes if you're trying. So I'm not saying don't try new things, but you have to admit that when you made a mistake, maybe you can learn something from someone else, and then you can grow. But the first thing in problem solving is when you have a problem with an individual is no name calling. Once you start raising your voice and calling names, you're not solving the problem. You're making the problem worse. You're trying to beat them up, beat them down with your words and and the sound of your voice. Because I know a lot of you have heard your parents tell you, young man, young lady, don't give me that tone. That's not solving a problem with that tone. Now, instead of using that tone, use some words to express how you feel. But you cannot solve anything by hitting either. Once you raise your hand and hit someone, you are not solving the problem. You are creating a bigger problem, a bigger mess for them, but also for yourself. Because a lot of times when you attack someone, first thing they're going to do is attack you back. So now we have a fight. Now we have a war. And now people can get hurt. And guess what? The problem is still there. You don't solve problems when you're up here screaming and hollering. You don't solve problems when you're down here being depressed, whining, because then you're attacking yourself. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm stupid. I'm no good. Saying things like that, those are name calling too. And there's are times when we're calling ourselves names, which does not address the problem. So we have to quit the name calling, quit the attacking, and work on resolving the problem, resolving the conflict. And the second thing is you have to be honest to resolve conflicts. A lot of times we have problems, but we can't get the truth. If you don't tell me the truth, how can I work with you? You go to the doctor and say, hey, my leg is really hurting, but it's your shoulder that's really bothering you, but you don't tell the doctor about your shoulder. You go in there and start talking about your leg, and they'll address things and give you medicine and therapy for your leg. But the problem is really your shoulder. That's not going to fix your shoulder. So you have to be honest to problem solve so you can address the problem truthfully, honestly. And getting back to using your words, that's why it's important for spelling words. I know a lot of you guys might complain. We do have some students that do very well in spelling. But the point of it is, you not only want to learn how to spell words, you want to learn the meaning of those words. So now you can put them in your backpack of knowledge and can use them whenever you need them. Not use them as a negative thing, because sometimes we put negative words in our backpack, and when somebody does something to it, bam, we throw those negative words out at them to hurt their feelings because your feelings is hurt. But instead of walking around with your feelings hurt and your ego bruised, problem solve so that you can improve your self-esteem. Because the more problems you're able to solve, or the more ability you have developed in solving problems, the better your life will be. And then you can make the quality of life for people around you a lot better as well. So it's important to be honest. And the third thing is listen. You have to be a good listener. And a lot of times we don't realize the importance that listening is a skill too. The students at Fair Plains and at Jefferson, you guys know that I've taught you four parts of your body that you use to listen. And the first part is your heart, because you got to want to listen. If you don't want to listen, then you're not going to learn, because you learn more from listening than you do from talking. First of all, you got to want to listen. You got to want to learn. Then you use your ears to hear the words. Take your time and listen and hear the words. If you don't understand the meaning of the word that you've heard, raise your hand. Say, excuse me, I don't understand that word. Could you please explain that to me? Then you also use your eyes. You're focusing on the speaker, looking at them, so that you can hear what they say. And the words that they say, then your brain has to compute whether, do I know what that means? Because I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to point to a part of my shirt. This part right here. Now, if I said this is a purple line here, and you're watching this video saying, oh, Mr. Ellis is kind of wrong there. That's not purple, that's red. But first of all, you're listening because you want to listen. Second of all, you heard me say purple, but your eyes says red, and your brain validates that. Your brain and your eyes don't say, hey, that's not purple, that's red. So if we was in a classroom, I would expect for you to say something. And I've done this exercise many times in classroom, but only a few students will say something. And it's important to use that listening as a tool of resolving conflict. So when they listen to what you have to say, pay close attention using their heart, their ears, their mind, and their eyes to listen and understand what you're saying, then it's your turn to speak. Using those same skills of wanting to listen, your ears and your brain and your eyes, become a good listener, so you both are listening to each other. And that's a good start when you both can talk about the problem, being honest. And then you talk about what you can do to make things better. Well, I can change here. I can do this. Then the other person say, I can do this. So if I focus on what I can change and they focus on what they can change, we can come together. We're working to solve this problem. But how many times have we heard people say, well, if you weren't here, this problem wouldn't be here. If you did this, I wouldn't have this problem. You can't you can't control other people. Only person you control is yourself, Earthling. Yourself. You focus on controlling yourself and what you can do to make the problem better. And hopefully the other person is doing the same thing, the other Earthling is doing the same thing, and we can work and solve any problem. Being honest. And it's going to take time. It's going to take time. It's going to take time and effort. But the more time and effort you put into this and practice this, you'll be able to use it for the rest of your life. If you're having a problem with your siblings at home, brothers and sisters at home, or mom and dad, or when you go to school, think about this. How many times have we talked about this before? How many times have the teacher sat there and said something that you did not understand, but instead of raising your hand and asking for help, you just sat there and said, I don't know what this lady is talking about, but I hope she don't call on me. you don't understand. There's a problem that you don't understand, but instead of addressing it and trying to solve it, you're quiet and don't say anything. And that's not being, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself and really lying to the teacher. The teacher thinks you understand what they've said, and you don't have a clue. So it's important to be honest, be respectful, no name calling, and work hard. And Earthlings, you can solve any problem that comes up in your life, but it's up to you. So let's practice that now over our time off. Let's practice that so we can be really, really good students and be ready to go. When you come back, you might have missed some things that you didn't have computers or things like that at home to keep up with your work, but come back ready to work, ready to improve and be a better person. Once you become a better person, then around your classmates become better person, then our cities become better cities, and our states become better states. Our country will become great again, and we can have a great planet, but it's going to start with each and every one of you. All right, you guys have a good day, and thank you very much. We will get back next week. We're going to talk about the importance of being honest, which is a very important part of our life. Thank you. Have a great day, Earthlings. Goodbye.